A little while ago, Solar Guitars sent me this abhorrently huge bass, the E2.5 BOP, a 5-string, 24-fret, 34-inch scale behemoth. You might already have seen the unboxing video in which there was no playing, and since then I've spent a considerable number of hours playing it to really get a good picture of its performance. So here is an in-depth review on the E2.5 BOP. Now I'd like to make it abundantly clear before we get started that I'm not being paid for this video. I know I received this bass, but if one person comments that I received it for free, I'm actually gonna, my head is gonna blow off. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate the fact that I make 2 videos per instrument that I'm sent by a company makes it de facto not free anymore. Yes, one could argue that the effort that goes into scripting 2 videos, filming, editing them, uploading them, and making thumbnails is still nicer than paying $1,200 for a bass, but that doesn't make it free or a bribe or payment for this video. And if you think that, I have no idea what to tell you. You can't really watch anything in the world anymore. There are product placements everywhere. Welcome to the capitalist hellscape that we live in. Point being that Solar is not paying me for this video. So let's start off with the specs. It's got a Sunkai body in a black open pore finish. As you can see, I got lucky with this particularly beautiful wood grain. A satin finished maple neck in a set through construction. A rosewood fretboard with 24 super jumbo nickel frets. I would have guessed that this is ebony, but Solar has kind of a thing with having like really dark rosewood fretboards that look like they could be ebony. 34-inch scale length. 2 Solar high output ceramic humbuckers, a fixed bridge, and of course, 5 in-house Solar tuning machines. For the price point of just under €1,200 USD and GBP conversions on screen, I would call this more than adequate. Money isn't worth what it used to be anymore, so if you were about to comment on the in-house tuners on a $1,200 bass, don't. Now for the build quality. I can't see so much as a single flaw anywhere in the finish across this entire thing. It's got a really nice open pore, as I said. It's going to be different on every guitar, of course, because every chunk of wood is different. This is a bass, not a guitar. But I think that's what makes these unique, as opposed to having a solid color poly finish where the look of the wood underneath absolutely does not matter. The satin finish on the neck feels amazing. It's really nice and smooth. Frets are dressed nicely, though I must keep reiterating that if you live in an incredibly low humidity space, the frets will feel like razor blades. Wood never stops moving and reacting to stuff around it, and if it dries out and contracts to the point that the fret wire sticks out the sides, that isn't something you can account for during manufacturing. Having said that, here is the balloon test. Where did I put the damn balloons? Found them. Crisis averted. Let's call him Winston. Now, the objective is for Winston not to die, of course, so you better hope this Solar has well-dressed frets. Not a scratch. I'm sorry about this. The bit with his face landed on the bass. That is macabre. I don't like that. Ugh. Wunderbar. Now for the neck dive test. I'll take a regular fabric strap, stand with the bass in playing position, and then let go. With a scale length, neck width, and headstock size like this, a bunch of neck dive was to be expected with a standard fabric strap, so let's see if a slightly grippier strap made of leather can combat that a little. And that's much better. I am going to mention that due to the button size here, the strap pegs are not compatible with the D'Addario Auto-Lock straps, which are my go-to straps these days. The size of the buttons is sort of intended to make those straps redundant anyway, because they'll keep any regular strap in place as well, but still, take notice if you use those straps. So now that we've covered everything external, since looks are only about 75% of being a musician, let's move on to the sound. For the following demos, I'll be using 2 plugins. The Seismic plugin by Modern Music Solutions, and Element Bass by Spectre Digital. Affiliate links for the Spectre Digital stuff, including the drum plugin that I use for my mixed demo tracks, are in the description. The other one is not an affiliate link. There are also links down there to everything I use to record my videos on a daily basis, all of the cables, microphones, interfaces, everything, as well as just my regular Thomann and Sweetwater affiliate links if you want to do your regularly scheduled gear shopping through those. So let's hear this absolute machine in the context it was undoubtedly intended for, some fucking down-tuned metal. It took me longer than I'd like to admit to program the drums for this, but here is Soul Burn by Meshuggah. yes, the mix is bass heavy on purpose. This is a bass demo. I'd say that sounded pretty fucking huge. So why don't we try something a little more mellow now? And of course, it also does the nice clean tones, but let's be honest, that's not what you're buying this for. All in all, at the price point of just under 1200 euro, I don't think you can get a more badass 5-string bass than this. It is, of course, quite a niche instrument, and one I wouldn't recommend if you're shorter than like 5'8", but I'm 100% comfortable with this being my only bass for the foreseeable future. Not everybody who wants a 5-string is going to want a giant satin black explorer-shaped one that weighs as much as their child, but that is really the only possible downside I can think of, if you even want to call that a downside, just how impossibly huge and heavy it is. But you know that before you're buying it, so I can't really call it a downside. It's not something that's gonna like surprise you or anything. You can read the scale length, you can read the weight, and you can look at the size. And in my opinion, that's part of what makes it so badass. So if you want a subtle, lightweight 5-string, go buy an Ibanez EHB headless. This is the opposite of that. If you're in a death metal band and you want to stand out a little and have some fucking stage presence, this is the bass for you. Now, back in the early days of Solar, a big issue they would have is the headstock decals bubbling and peeling off after a few months of use. My personal Solar V2.6C had this as well. I've sold that since. But even that can't be said for this or any modern Solar anymore, because they've switched to painting on their logos a long time ago. This bass might be the perfect death metal machine while also retaining a lot of tonal versatility, though granted, you'll look a bit funny playing in a blues band with this, but it is technically possible. So that is all I have to say for today. There are links in the description to buy one of these for yourself. Whether or not they're affiliate links will be stated right alongside them. The standard retailer affiliate links are also down there for you to do your shopping with, Solar or not. Thank you to Solar for making this video possible. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.